silang noun. Okay, kung ano niya, we're specify dito niya of what kind of food. And then the second example is beautiful girl. So ang girl no I and then the beautiful is the modifier. So ang modifier here is beautiful, which is the adjective. Next is the gracefully dance. So ano ang modifier dira?
Gracefully.
Yes, gracefully. So gracefully it is an adverb. And then head niya, which is dance, so it is a past tense. Next is the talking parrot. So mura Japon siya, maguna ang modifier ay ang iyang head. So ang head is the parrot, noun siya, and then the modifier is verb, talking. So another one is perfectly fine, mura Japon siya, maguna dun ang modifier. So nasabtan ra kung saan mag-formulate sa structure of modification.
Yes.
And then structure of complementation. So it refers to the different complements that linking and transitive predicate verbs complete the comment that they make about the subject. So sa structure of complementation, natin duha ka constituent. So a verbal element and a complement. So when we say verbal element, it is the verb or verb phrase that initiates the complementation. And then when you complement, it is the word or phrase that provides necessary information to complete the meaning of the verbal element. So kanyang complement na siya ay duha ka two types of complement. So according to sa akong research, it is the subjective complement and then the objective complement. So when we say subjective complement, it describes the subject itself and it usually follows the linking verb. Whereas ang kaniyang objective complement is dinadescribe niya ang objective or the receiver of the action or the direct object. Ang iya ang describe. And then sa structure of complementation po is follow siya dito na nga structure like sa subjective complement usually mag-natural linking verb and then sa objective complement na siya transitive verb or the direct object. So the first example of this structure of complementation is the weather is hot. So ang kaning weather, naka-indicate naman dire, it is the subject. And then the linking verb is, and then the subjective complement hot. So it is a subjective complement kaya yaman i-identify or yaman i-describe ang weather. So basta gani i-describe ang subject, it is subjective complement. So another example of a sentence na subjective complement is she is a doctor. So ang doctor mo siya ay subjective complement and then nag-follow siya sa linking verb. Next is we caught a fish. So the subject is we and then the transitive verb is caught. So when we say transitive verb, it is a kind of verb that needs direct object in order for the meaning to be complete. So if ever wala direct object, it is incomplete and then nonsense ang sulod sa sentence. So here we caught a fish. So if ever wala direct object, so di ba pag wala direct object of fish, di ba incomplete ang thought sa sentence? So kailangan din siya of direct object. So when you say direct object, it answers the question why. Okay, it answers the question why. Next is the example, the bank sent him a notice. So sa transitive verb, mabatayan sa every example is natin siya direct objects. Object, since ako ang ginong ganihan, incomplete if ever, wala yung direct object. So the bank, it is the subject, sent is the transitive verb, and then him is the indirect object, and then a notice is the direct object. So, kung sa may ipadala sa iya, a notice, and then ang ipadala ang notice. So, him. So, this is how we formulate the structure of complementation. So, dapat na objective complement and then subjective complement. is he ran across the field. So this is the example of series of phrases. So, di ba sa series, nag-consist siya of more than two components. So, tulo siya ka components really. So, we ran across the field and then separated with a comma, jump over the fence, and then another comma, and then the last unit is joined with the use of the and. So, yun na lang pagkuhanan sa series. So, with the use of comma and then coordinating or relatives. So next is the elliptical structure of coordination. So what is the elliptical structure of coordination? It is when joining two sentences by omitting or by leaving words in a sentences to make it shorter without changing the meaning. So sa elliptical, it helps avoid repetition and makes writing more concise. Kaya ang word na naana sa first part is di-omit or wala na nilugyaban sa second part sa sentence. So for example, I like fresh fish and not salted. So gi-omit ang word na fish. Even though gi-omit siya, di ba maura Japan ang meaning niya, wala na Japan. So, and then another example sa elliptical structure of coordination is she likes classic jewelry, not sparkling. So ako man ang word na gi-omit ato. So gi-omit ang word na jewelry. So even though gi-omit ang word na jewelry, kaya understandable na naman siya sa first part of the sentence, maura Japan ang meaning niya. So even though shorter ang sentence, ang meaning is not a Japan or maura Japan wala lang sa. So kindly read the following coordinates.
The following coordinates
are
rather than,
but as well as, nor, together with, not, along with, or not, or only, but also, either, or, neither, both, and.
So muna siya ang mga coordinates na gigamit sa structure of coordination. So ang sa series, kasagaran na yung ginagamit sa series, and then sa split structure, motion kaniyang part ng gamit. And then sa correlatives, this part is and then next is the split structure of coordination. So when you say split structure from the word split, it means gibulag ito ang parts sa sentences. So it is when you have two parts of the sentences joined together, but the word that joins them, or what we call the coordinator, is not always leaving in the middle. So wala siya sa tunga bibulag. Instead, not just the first part, and wala siya sa first part, and sa second part. So for example, rather than star, he choose to eat instead. So ano man ang coordinate na?
Rather than.
Yeah, so iyang divide ang part sa sentence without, i-divide niya ang part sa sentence, pero ang coordinate is wala siya na-place dito sa tunga. So, inaanahan siya sa split structure. And then another example is,
As well as cooking dinner, he helped the kids with their homework.
so ano nila ang coordinate?
As well as.
Taken my coordinate. And then, the example, ang panuntuan